時の息遣いを感じられるのならもう迷いなどないさ。空にこだまする明日への頃も瞬ききらめく星のように光になって道を照らし出すよ。だから行こう僕らの未来へ。
to get going.
Oh, Rean!
Morning, Elliot.
Good morning. Are you heading to school now too? How about we walk there together?
Sure. It's getting late though, so we might need to pick up the pace a little.
No problem. I'm guessing everyone else left already, huh?
I think so. I'm not sensing anyone else on this floor, at least. Gaius in particular is probably long gone by now, being the early riser he is.
Oh, okay then. He's not sensing anyone? What does that mean exactly?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning! Are you two on your way to school?
Yeah. Come on, Emma. We're going to be late. Hey, wait for me, Lisa. We'll see you in class.
I never would have guessed she'd hold a grudge this long. She knows it was just an accident, right? She has to. Can't believe she'd be so sensitive.
No kidding. She's not even giving me a chance to apologize to her.
Well, as long as you keep trying, I'm sure she'll understand. Eventually. Class 7's got enough tension as it is, what with our two, prideful warriors at each other's throats. So I think it would be a load off everyone's mind if you and Elisa could make up at least.
I'll certainly do what I can, whatever that may be.
These past 2 weeks have really flown by, haven't they? It's funny, I went into this thinking combat practice would be the toughest part of the curriculum. Never would have guessed the academic side of things might give it a run for its money.
Well, strong in body and mind is pretty firmly embedded into Imperial culture. I do get what you mean, though. I figured I'd be able to coast through the year, but I've had to very quickly reevaluate that.
You too, huh? I wish I were as smart as Machias or Emma. They don't seem to be having any problems at all. But then, Emma got the top score on the entrance exam, and I'll bet you anything Machias wasn't far behind.
I'm sure. Eustace and Elisa are apparently doing really well, too. As are Laura and Gaius.
Really? Guess I'm just gonna have to suck it up then. Though I really do hope they don't mind.
Huh? I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, sorry. You got me thinking about Eustace and Laura. I've been talking to them the same way I talk to everybody else, but they're both nobles, right? And Eustace's family rules over the whole eastern side of the Empire, so it kind of feels like I should address them more formally.
Well, they both said it was okay, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Though you probably shouldn't go picking fights with Eustace every chance you get, like a certain someone else.
Oh, I don't plan on it. I'd hoped they'd get along a bit better over time, but if anything, things seem to be spiraling downhill fast on that end. When the two of them are in the same room, there's just this constant tension in the air.
It's not all Machias either. Eustace seems to enjoy provoking him at every opportunity. I can't even imagine what it would take to make them see eye to eye at this point.
Yeah, I wish there was something we could do to help them get along. And that's where we'd be if we weren't in Class 7. Dormitory number 2, for all the common folk like us.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? I'm still kind of shocked that Class 7 gets to have its own dormitory. Though, to be fair, I think that building was abandoned till this year. Seems like they renovated it just for us.
Well, they did a good job. It's got a nice feel to it. I just wish it were a little closer to the academy.
Hey, you're in our way. Step aside at once. Class 7, I see.
Is something the matter?
You're just a ragtag bunch of nobodies, aren't you? Come on, we're leaving.
Yes, Patrick! A word of advice. You might be part of a special class, but that doesn't change who you are.
So they're from one of the upper classes. This is why I hate talking to them.
Unfortunately, that attitude is all too common among the nobles. Thank goodness Laura and Eustace aren't like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. That's the infamous dormitory number 1, where all the nobility lives. It's supposed to be super fancy inside, with maids and butlers and everything.
Wow, really? Guess that's our cue to pick up the pace.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, hey, have you picked out a club to join yet? Doesn't sound like you have to or anything, but it's probably a good way to meet people.
No, I'm still looking. It's hard to decide on one.
And bow. Be seated.
As I'm sure you're all well aware, the Erebonian Empire was driven to the brink of collapse roughly 250 years ago. This was brought about by the conflict we know as the War of the Lions. A civil war lasting several years, staged over the throne of the late emperor by the most powerful of his potential successors. But of course, I'm not here to tell you that. If I were, I think even young children would be able to pass this course.
Hello? Cool.
Rather, I'd like to discuss the effects this had on the Empire as members of the aristocracy were drawn into the war.
So anyway, we're here with Charles Coastal 1
Many
Part
hired
4 of my
mercenaries
Let's
turned to
Play.
looting and pillaging, and a similar trend could even be seen among some of the knights. The land was left utterly devastated, and morale was at an all-time low. But then, lo and behold, into this nightmare stepped a man willing to take a stand against this bloody war of succession. He was a wandering prince who began to rally forces from the outskirts of the Empire, and would go on to make quite a name for himself. And that name, of course, was Dreikel's Rhysei Arnor. He would later become known as Dreikel's the Lionheart, the 73rd Emperor of Erebonia, and father of the Renaissance. Not to mention the founder of this very academy. Dreikel's army was initially rather small in number, but as he traveled across the Empire, winning over the hearts of influential sympathizers, his forces rapidly increased. Now, the place where Emperor Dreikel first began gathering his army was... Rien Schwarzer, would you care to tell the class?
Luckily, I know which city or area it was. Nord Highlands. And if you do get it wrong, Elisa tells you, and you get the free AP anyway.
Nice work, everyone. You made it through another grueling day of classes. In case you've been living under a rock, please don't forget that tomorrow is your first free day. It's not technically a day off, but there are no classes, so it's up to you what to do with your time. Why, you could go shopping in the capital if you wanted to. Or just do what I do and sleep all day. Sleep is so wonderful.
Will the Academy's facilities still be open for our use?
Yes, I'd like to be able to use the free study area in the library myself.
Of course! This school shuts down for no one, so feel free to patronize any and all facilities as you like. A lot of clubs have meets scheduled for these free days as well, so anyone who's joined one should probably check on that.
I see.
I'll be certain to do so.
Also, before you leave, we should go over what's happening next week. On Wednesday, you all have your practical exam.
A practical exam?
What does that entail exactly?
It's part of your combat training. You'll be graded on your performance, so make sure you're well rested and ready for battle by then. Might be a good idea to do some training on your own time too, just to keep from getting rusty.
Interesting.
I definitely don't like the sound of that.
Oh, and one more thing. After the practical exam is over, I've got another important announcement about a major part of Class 7's curriculum that I haven't mentioned at all yet.
What?
Here it comes.
So, whatever you choose to do on your free day, make it count for something. That concludes today's homeroom. Machias, if you'll do the honors.
Yes, instructor. All rise. Bow.
I do love how Reen's just completely suspicious of Sarah. Not suspicious, I guess, but he seems to know that she's holding things back purposefully. I think my previous live streams I didn't have my mic on properly, but just to explain for people that are new to my channel, I did try doing this on my PS4 before my Let's Plays, but it wouldn't stabilise properly, so sometimes it would be blurred, or it would freeze, or it would stutter. I've recently now got a PS5 and we have fibre optic broadband, so I've been testing a few things out and it seems to flow quite fine now, whether it's the PS5 or the fibre. I think it's more to do with the PS5 now. So to explain things, so I have played Trails of Cold Steel 1, 2, 3 and 4. I have played Trails in the Sky, which is the first arc, as you would call it, of the Kiseki Legend of Heroes series. So I've played Trails of the Sky 1, which you can get on Steam PC. Originally it was on PSP. There's 3 games in Trails of the Sky arc. So Trails of the Sky FC, first game. Trails of the Sky SC, second game, which in my opinion is the best out of all 3. And then you have Trails of the Sky, the third. Now many people in the Kiseki fandom suggest that you could skip the third game. I suggest not. A lot of people now suggest not to skip it. And then you have the Crossbell duology, which I've not played yet at all, for obvious reasons. It's really only in Japan at the moment, but Trails Zero, I think, is coming out in September 27th or 28th, which I will get. And then you've got Trails Azure, which is coming out next year. And a lot of the Kiseki fandom have suggested that the Crossbell duology are the best 2 games throughout the whole series. That includes Hajimari, which is Trials to Reverie, which is coming out also next year, and Kuro no Kiseki, which is the Calvert arc, which is just coming out now in Japan. So yeah, I played Trials of Cold Steel 1, 2, 3 and 4. I've played the Japanese version of Hajimari. I don't fully know what happens in there because I don't know Japanese, but I know what happens, if that makes sense. But I still don't fully understand what's going on for obvious reasons. And I played Kuro no Kiseki, which is the first game which came out last year for the Calvert arc. I will be getting Crimson Sin, which is the second Calvert game. I probably will not stream Kuro no Kiseki or Kuro no Kiseki Crimson Sin for obvious reasons, and I probably won't stream Hajimari. I think I'm only going to be streaming, the plan is Trials of Cold Steel 1, 2, 3 and 4, and by the time I've done that, Trials to Zero would have been out, and then probably by then Trials to Azure would be out. But in between, I might stream Saints Row, that's coming out next week. And I might even stream some Assassin's Creed Valhalla that I've got. I won't be doing a playthrough, but stream little bits of that. Just a little bit of variety. Just to get my feet in the streaming door. I mean, I'm completely new to all this streaming. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I hope this career gets up a little bit. You know, I work full time, but you know, I'd like to do this as a hobby, and hopefully, eventually, turn it into a job, because I would like to be a content creator. But anyway, let's move on. This is on normal, new game. We're not going to be doing... I'll do all the side quests when we're on jobs, etc. But I'm not going to be getting books. I'm not going to be getting all the character notes. The only book I will probably try and get is the Red Moon Rose one, which is to get certain equipment. One thing I will say is that Reen is my favourite character out of the characters that I know, and I mean main characters. So for me it's Reen, then it would be Estelle and Joshua. I categorise them two as the main characters for Sky. Lloyd I'm not too familiar with. You know, I've obviously played Hajimari and I know of him. But I get the feeling you find out more about his origin, his journey in obviously the Crossbow games, which we'll find out soon. But I love Class 7. They're really good. Really good, a mixture of characters and character development across all 4 Cold Steel games. Especially Reen. And if you've never played these games, I really do urge people to pick these up because they're incredible. I mean, Cold Steel 1 was the first game I ever played in this series, and it was the best purchase I've ever made, and it's quite easily now my favourite game, or games of all time. My favourite game of all time, completely all time, is Final Fantasy X. The Trials series is on the same level of that. It's the story continuation for each game. It's almost unheard of. Like, Final Fantasy, it's like different worlds, isn't it? Like, it's not a continued set saga story. With Final Fantasy, you go to all these different worlds with different characters, etc. The core fundamentals are the same, like summons, equipment, near enough. But with the Trails series, it's all one story split off into arcs, like anime. And it just fits perfectly. And I've recently just completed the Trails of Sky walkthrough earlier this year, and I was so happy I was able to play them. And it fits in small little things that you know when if you do what I did, like play Cold Steel first, and you go back to play the early versions, you're like, that's where it fits in. And I'm sure I'll get that when I eventually play the Cold Steel. No, not Cold Steel, Azure and Zero. Not sure how long we'll stream this tonight. I've got work tomorrow. It's 8:30 now. First thing we're going to do is save, because that was a lot of cutscenes and development of story. I know exactly where to go. That should... Oh no, it doesn't, okay. So we don't need to bother talking to it. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but I probably will talk to a few people. Okay, we're just going to go straight to the student council building. Giving you an overview of the campus and everything like that, which is helpful if you're playing it for the first time. So we're just going to go straight here.
This should be the Student Union building. I know the cafeteria is on the first floor, but I wonder where the Student Council room is.
Hey there, first year.
Second favourite character.
How's it going?
That's all I'll say about that.
Academy life been treating you well this past half month?
Oh, yeah, it has. Guess he must be a second year. It's not easy, but I'm managing. Mostly. Though I have a feeling it's only going to get harder from here on out.
Of course it will. Your class is going to be more intense than the others, too.
But you just hang in there, okay?
Okay. Wait. You're a second-year student, aren't you? Do you mind if I ask your name?
Hey now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First things first, how about you let me show you this cool trick I've been practicing?
Trick?
You got a 50 mirror coin I can borrow?
I think so. Pretty sure I do, anyway.
Cheers. All right, watch closely.
What?
That's another thing to mention. The music in all these games is so good. Arguably the best music in video game history. I mean, I like Dynasty Warriors games, like hack and slash games, and their music's usually really good. Like, you know, it hits different. You're like, oh yeah. The music in these games is unreal. Sets the mood perfectly.
Now, which hand is the coin in? Left or right?
It's in your...
Too bad.
Guess you win. I'm usually pretty good at following moving objects, too. Though, wait. You said this was a trick, which means...
You catch on quick.
Huh?
Keep up the good work, man. You're gonna need to be pretty tough to get through a year with Sarah as your instructor. Oh, and the student council room is on the second floor, furthest room back. See you around. Have a good weekend.
Wait! My 50... mirror... He got me. Andy seemed to know I was heading to the student council room, too. Somehow. Nice good. I haven't met many of the second years yet. I wonder if they're all like that. Oh well. At least now I know where I'm going. Though if it really is open late, I guess there's no real rush. I might as...
Nope. Not gonna happen. We can't really do anything else, so you might as well just pop in. Because we can't get character notes because you haven't got the tab. Shops aren't open.
Hello? Please come in. It's open.
I recognize that voice. Pardon the interruption. Oh, you're that girl.
It's been about 2 weeks, hasn't it? Welcome to the student council room, Reen Schwarzer. Instructor Sarah sent you, right?
Yes. So, you're a member of the student council then? I wonder if she got moved up a few years. She looks even younger than Fee.
Is something wrong?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just wondering, are you a second-year student?
I am, but there's no need for formalities with me. There's no junior or senior in my book. The name's Toa Herschel. I'm the student council president.
President?
Uh-huh. Does that surprise you? I'm sure I'll have plenty of opportunities to interact with you and the other first years during your time here. So if there's anything you need help with, you just come and let me know, okay? I'll do everything in my power to make it better.
Thank you. That's very kind. She's seriously the student council president? That's hard to believe.
Lol. Reen's being a sizist.
So, the reason I've come here is because you're holding on to something for Class 7, right?
Oh, of course. Here you go. Yours is the one on top.
Let's see. Oh, our student notebooks. I completely forgot about these.
I'm really sorry it's taken so long. Class 7's curriculum is pretty different from any of the other classes. And you're even using a different kind of battle orb mint, so yours had to be compiled separately.
Meaning these notebooks have information in them about...
The Arcus, yes. All the student notebooks double as instruction manuals for their accompanying battle orb mints. And the other first years are all using the same type as last year, so we could just reuse last year's template. But the Arcus type you're using works quite differently, so we had to write a whole new set of directions from scratch.
Okay, that makes sense. But wait, who's we?
Pretty much just me. Instructor Sarah asked me to do it on her behalf. Which means it's my fault this has taken so long. I'm really sorry.
Oh, no. If anything, it sounds like we owe you a huge debt of gratitude for putting so much time and effort into it. Is that really part of the student council's job, though? It seems more like something our instructor should be handling herself.
Technically, you're right, but she's always so busy. And I help out the other instructors a lot, too, so I don't mind lending her a hand from time to time.
What a nice person. Maybe a little too nice for her own good. So, you just need me to give these to the other students in Class 7, right?
Yes, please. I really appreciate what you all agreed to do, too.
Huh? What do you mean?
I heard all about it from Instructor Sarah. She said you've agreed to help out the student council with our work, right? It's such a nice gesture. You're really getting Class 7 off to a great start here at the Academy.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Didn't you tell her that you wanted to help ease our workload?
The first of many, in which Reen doesn't have a clue of what she's talking about or what anyone's talking about.
Something about wanting to better yourselves? To prove you were worthy of being a part of this prestigious new class? She said you were all really eager to help out, so I should try to delegate some of my duties to you.
Brilliant.
Thank you, my dear. I leave everything in your capable hands. Mwah.
Mwah, indeed.
I'm sorry. Did I misunderstand her or something? Oh, how embarrassing. I didn't mean to start trying to force work onto you when you've only just enrolled.
There's no way I can turn her down. No. Instructor Sarah's absolutely right. Your plate is as full as I've seen, so if I can help you in any way, please let me.
I thought there had been a terrible misunderstanding there for a moment. But don't worry, I won't give you anything too difficult. It'll mostly just be fulfilling requests from people in the Academy and in Trista.
Requests?
Yep. Sometimes people send in feedback and list things they'd like us to do for them, and we try to help out however we can. I'll pick some up for you to do by the end of the day, and drop the list in your mailbox at your dorm tomorrow morning. Will that be okay with you?
Sure thing. Thanks. Dusk already? What a day. Can't believe she wound up treating me to dinner in the cafeteria. And she's still got more student council work to do yet. How is she so busy? Hello? This is Reen Schwarzer speaking.
Guten Tag, my favorite little Wunderkind. I hear you had a nice little dinner date with the student council president. Ooh la la.
If this is how you treat your favorite little Wunderkind, I dread to think how you treat people you don't like. Would you care to explain why you've been signing me up for things behind my back?
I'll skip the details for now, but it's got something to do with the other part of your curriculum that I'll be announcing next week. I thought it'd be a good chance for one of you to do a little rehearsal before the main event. And since the student council truly is busy, I figured, why not kill two birds with one stone? A fine plan, if I do say so myself.
I have a feeling half the reason they're as busy as they are is because of certain instructors. But alright, I'm happy to play along. Basically, you just want me to spend my free day tomorrow helping the student council, right?
Oh, that's entirely up to you. If there's a club you're interested in joining, far be it from me to force you away from it.
No, to be honest, I still haven't found one that really clicks with me, so that won't be a problem. There is one question I'd like to ask, though. Why me, exactly? This seems like the kind of task typically entrusted to the class president or vice president, so Emma or Machias. And even if you were choosing based on social class, Eustace and Laura were both born into noble families. I wasn't. So what makes me so special, exactly?
Well, in a sense, you're effectively at the center of Class 7.
Pardon?
I'm not saying you're its leader, of course. But in a class full of nobles, commoners, and exchange students, you in particular are special. Surely even you can see that, no?
Well...
That's why I decided to give you first dibs, so to speak. I wanted to get an idea of how things might go from here on out. There's never been a class like yours, so there you have it. The beans have been spilled all over the place. Ball's in your court now.
Wait, what are you drinking?
Beer, of course. It's the weekend and I'm stuck wasting away in my room, imbibing libations. Alas, all by my lonesome. If only I had a classy gentleman friend who'd go out drinking with me. But woe of woes, such a man is nary to be found.
Are you okay?
Never better. But you, instead of trying to put everything in its place, why don't you just go with the flow for a change? It seems like you're desperately trying to find something. But if you don't plant yourself somewhere, you're just gonna blow away with the next big gust that comes along. And on that note, make sure you're back in the dorm by curfew and all transgressions will be forgiven. Toodles!
If I don't plant myself somewhere, huh? She may have a few screws loose, but she's got a point. Maybe I should just try going with the flow and see what comes of it.
Unconventional Studies, Chapter 1. So basically we've got to give everyone their little books. So what I'm going to try and do is not talk over audio cutscenes, and I can just sort of discuss after major cutscenes or any other cutscenes of what I think or what I think about a certain situation. Obviously, if people want me to read the non-audio lines, I will. Just let me know in the comments or whatever. But for now, I'll just let it be. Brilliant from Eustace, I love it. So on one hand he's trying to keep him at arm's length, but now he's offering advice. It's those little things that Falcom do really well in their storytelling. The character development is incredible. Not only in the main characters, but in the supporting characters. Incredible storytelling. So at this point of the game, obviously we're chummy with Gaius and we're chummy with Elliot. We're a little bit chummy with Machias, and Eustace is, like I said, keeping us at arm's length for the moment. Elliot's actually really useful if you give him the right setup. He's really good. And obviously the girl's situation, well, we know what's happened with Rean and Elisa. Rean tried to protect Elisa, but they landed on top of each other. And Rean's head was being smothered by a certain lady body part. And Elisa smacked Rean. Now, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but you can build relationships obviously through bonding events, and you can do it with obviously males and females. The higher the bond, you get a special cutscene at the end of the game, depending on who you've done certain things with. With the females, it tends to end in a romantic sort of setup, I think. Now, the game heavily pushes Rean and Elisa. Heavily pushes it in all aspects of cutscene. Even in the bonding events, you can tell they're like nudging you towards Elisa. Now, in my opinion, I think they're the perfect couple. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people that don't like Elisa. There's a lot of people that prefer Laura. But I think a lot of the people that prefer Laura is because she's quite broken as a character in the battle. Like, if you set her up with the right stuff, she could one-hit bosses quite easily. So I think that's why a lot of people like Laura. But in terms of romance, for me it is Rean and Elisa, and for me I do think that will become canon eventually. I can foresee like Rean will probably pop up somewhere in another part of the continent in another game, and he'll be like, yeah, I'm married to Alicia, Elisa. The developers heavily push it, and for me they fit. It makes sense that it's these two, because you find out a lot of backstory stuff in this game and in the second game, which is the sequel directly after this, which you'll all see anyway, but I'm just telling you now that my final bonding moment will be with Elisa. In terms of Laura's character development, for me, it's the weakest. And I'm talking about throughout all 4 games. It's the weakest out of all of them. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. That's one of the great things about this game, is everyone has a different opinion, and everyone can pose a valid argument as well. I mean, I like Elisa's character. And it fits with Rean, and apparently there was a rumour that Elisa was actually meant to be the main character, but they changed it up last minute. And it makes sense from Elisa's story arc, really. She's like the female main character, really. Like, there's only 2 canon confirmed relationships, I think, between a main character and a female. That's Estelle and Joshua from the Sky arc, and 2 individuals in the Calvard arc, which I won't mention because that's not out in English yet. It's only Rean and Lloyd that seem to have harems and are completely ignorant when it comes to romance. It's quite funny, really. Rean's worse than Lloyd, from what I've seen. But also, Rean has more of a choice. So this bit here in Elisa's story bit annoys me a little bit. Or it annoyed me a little bit in my first run through, since I was blind. But obviously now I've played throughout the whole games, I can understand why she's hiding her last name. Just because of what happens in Erebonia between a certain organisation, certain class system, and a certain weapons business, I guess. So you can understand why Lisa would want to hide that from people in a school where there's nobles and commoners. Fee's my second favourite female of the class. Obviously my first is Elisa, but Fee's my second favourite. More to do with her character development again across all 4 main Cold Steel games, but also in battle she's quite amazing, really, especially if you set her up as an evade specialist. And it's bare, I don't think this will be a spoiler, but she's actually the youngest character in our group. Yet you've already seen in the beginning of the game, when we were in that little labyrinth where she did that sort of like wall jump thing, she's quite athletic, probably more athletic than some of the older students, not only in our class but in our old school. And that second year that we saw before we went into the student council, I said he's my second favourite all-time character behind Reen. And you'll eventually see that quite quickly. And I think he's not that popular in Japan. But he's definitely popular in the West, I feel. And his character arc is a roller coaster in itself. You think, you know, so many roller coaster rides. It's amazing. It's such a great game. That's all I can say, really. And here's Laura. She's my least favourite from a character standpoint. But like I said, in battle, she's probably your strongest warrior. But from a character point of view, she has her moments, but I'm I'm pretty sure she only has one major character development, I think. Yeah, it's the weakest, I feel. Her and Gaius, for the first few games anyway. Not really a spoiler, that, because obviously you'd expect character developments with supporting cast as well. But yeah, her and Gaius are probably the weakest at the moment. Here's Emma. My third favourite, probably, on the female side. She seems to be like the mediator of the group. Like, she sort of observes and then gives people advice of how to sort things out. She's quite smart, quite reliable in battle as well, and has in herself interesting character development and arc. Quite brilliant, really. Okay, so that's everything done, I believe. So what we can do is we're going to go straight down. I think we can speak to Sarah. Yeah, there she is. So basically Sarah is an alcoholic. Although she never gets drunk. First of many free days. Now with these, obviously the red is required. and the blue is optional. If you want to get the max AP achievement, you would have to do obviously everything. Some requests are hidden, so some requests won't come up on those little sheets that you will get. There's at least one hidden request in each free day, and I think there's one hidden request in each area you go to on the first day. So if you want the AP achievement, you would have to do all requests, and you would have to get the max AP through questions that you can answer as well. So I think I've done that, but I had to use a guide. It's almost impossible to recollect everything. I mean, I can recollect a lot of the hidden requests where they are, but I would have to look up the answers for some of them, especially the hidden request that's coming up in a new area that we're going to be going to in a minute. That's just bonding events, which I sort of explained. So we have two. There's one here, which is Elliot. We'll go and do that now, because that gives us the character notes, which are these. Elliot, there you are. Now, it's important to note that in your first playthrough you will not be able to view all bonding events. In New Game Plus you will be given enough bonding events to see everyone's in each free day, in each opportunity you have bonding moments. Specific bonding moments will give a character notes. So if you wanted to do the character note achievement, you would have to select the correct option. So basically helping him with some boxes that's come from home. Lol. So just to give you a little guide. There we go. The highest link is level 5, so once you've got someone up to level 5, you've maxed their bonding. And here you go. Elliot loves music. So obviously all of it was blank, but then you got that. So like I said, I'm not going to get everyone's character note, to be honest, because one, I don't have a guide next to me, and two, it's very time consuming. So yeah, I mean, what I could do is probably put a link of what guide I used. I mean, in the description, I guess. Okay. So we can now fast travel, which is very useful. Didn't have that in Sky. So the first thing we're going to go and do is we're going to go into the bookstore and speak to this bloke here. Red Moon Rose. So this is the book that you will need to get. There's 14 of them, and they are hidden. So in each area you're going to be going to, there will be a specific person that you will just speak to in each area or town, and they'll give you a chapter of the Red Moon Rose book. Okay, so once you have all 14 of them, on the last dungeon, or before you go into the last dungeon, there's a specific student you go to, hand over all the books, and they'll give you material to forge a final weapon for a character. It's not the only way to get a final weapon for a character, but it's the only way to get, in your first playthrough, at least 2 characters with a final weapon. Don't worry too much if you do miss one in an area, because as there always is, where do we get these books here are specific to certain characters. So music is Elliot, the Graham guidebook, that would be Laura, touching paintings is Gaius. So you will get books, so that could be bonding opportunities. So if I do this, first Elliot gives you 50 XP. There will be other books that you can get which will be ingredients, which will give you recipes to do cooking. I think the second bonding we will do will be Laura's, I think. There we go. So won't do Macius's. So here, once we've done all the requests, it will fast forward to the evening. This guy here is our first hidden quest. And if you do miss any anything, any collectibles, you can come here. And it's Micked. And basically you'll be able to inspect curios. Won't let me do that now, but it will allow you to see if you can get any missables which you might have missed. Fishing. The bane of many people's lives. I have done this. I have, it's quite, say it's easy, it can be easy. I prefer the Cold Steel 3 and 4 mechanic, because it's a lot easier. This one's a button mashing task, which is okay. Ironically, I prefer this way rather than the Trails in the Sky one, which was you had to press circle when you got the exclamation mark or something, and it wasn't great really. Okay. So it's just going to give me a fishing book, a beginner rod, as you do. Okay. There is actually it is actually worth doing the fishing because he does give you some good stuff. There's 3 things you can get from him that you can give to someone near the end of the game. That gives you, and she gives you a piece of equipment that will allow you to forge another weapon. So actually, you could have 3 people in your first playthrough if you get all the stuff. You can get at least 3 people with their final weapons, which is quite useful. We do have shining poms, which we will be using. Just cheese. There are certain fishing spots in each area. So there's one here in town, and there's also one at the campus. There can be some in the old school house. So we're gonna fish. Bit easier with the PS5 controller actually. I'm getting used to the PS5 controller now. It's a lot bigger than the PS4 one. Took me a while. I was like, okay. I'm getting used to the adaptive triggers. That's interesting. Especially playing Sniper Elite 5. That was actually helps in Sniper Elite 5 really. Right, so we've caught the first fish. Swordtail. I believe there's 3 in this area. I believe there's 3, sorry. So if we go around here, here, there's B, and here's the fishing spot. I'm sure you get a little crab here. Might be wrong. Yeah, there it is. I'm sure there's another one. Try one more. No, okay. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the gymnasium. Just going to talk to these guys because then they'll load up in our character book. Just to emphasize. There we go. Liam probably just got a hard on. First of many for him. I can't remember if this gives you a character, but I think it does. Yeah, cause it's either this or Mackie. I'm sure it's Laura that gets a character note. I'm sure it is. No, it's not. Okay, so it's just Elliot that gets it. Anyway. Now let's go and do the first side quest, which is Student Union. Basically, she's lost her student notebook and we've got to find it. Luckily, I know exactly where it is. So basically, it's telling you to look in the main building in rest areas. Yeah, there you go, in the halls or rest areas. And on the second floor, so... Here we go, second floor. Now, it's not going to be down there. It's not going to be down here, and it's not going to be any of the classrooms. Here's a rest area. You check the sofas. And there it is. So all we've got to do is return that, but before we do that we're going to talk to people that are here. Just rushing through them. I don't think there's anyone on the roof. Might be wrong. Won't say much about them two. Just keep an eye on them whenever you play this game. There are two people that you need to keep an eye on throughout the whole saga, to be honest. Here's this guy. Proper douche. We talk to the principal now. We won't do his, well, you can't do his quest until the last one anyway, so. Basically, we'll go into the old schoolhouse and investigate it. It's a way to get your experience up. So with all side quests that are green, you have to go back to the person that's actually set it for you to get the reward. Sometimes you have to talk to them again to get a certain character note or certain reward. It's just something to be mindful for. I can see your pockets from here. It's a bit of a sketchy club. Yeah. Find it out, Emma. Okay, so engineering building now. Can you hear me? So this is a mandatory quest. It's quite simple. You got to deliver 3 items that George is about to inform us of now. It's 1 on the campus and 2 in town. Quite simple. So the second one is MICT, which we went to earlier. And then the final one's at Radio Trista, which we haven't been to yet. And with the power of fast travel, this shouldn't take too long, so... First up, Nicholas, which is here, and he will give you a recipe book, I think. So here's the thing with the recipe book. You get a reward if you get 20 recipes. You get a reward for 20 recipes that you've done are unique, and you get a reward if you have 20 recipes that are not great. So we go down to the first floor. The person that wants the not great recipes is this bloke here. Peculiar, that's the word, there you go. Peculiar dishes. The person that gives you a reward for finding all recipes is Margarita, so it was the woman that was with Nicholas in the home economics room. And the person that wants unique dishes is this lady up here. So obviously recipes, you can find them in different areas, different people. They do count as missables, so you can always go to Mikt every free day and he should have them. But you can also get books every free day, which will enable you to read the book and then learn the recipe. So we go and deliver the item to Mikt, and then we go to Radio Trista to make the final delivery. Blade, okay. That's basically a card game that you can do at a certain point in time. I personally don't like Blade. I prefer the other card game that you'll see in 3 and 4. It's a lot better. I tend to find Blade is more up to chance rather than strategy and skill. So it's about the curios, there you go. So you can exchange items that aren't rare for rarer ones, which is quite helpful. And you can also, like I said, any items you've missed from previous chapters as curios, but they are very expensive. So inspect curios, there shouldn't be anything there because obviously we're starting a new game. We haven't got a lot of money. Yeah, we do. Final stop. is here. A director. So I think what we'll do is that we'll do the last quest, and then I will bring a close to the stream. Not sure when I'll next be on, probably next Friday. Because I'll be working all week, and after work, to be honest, I just want to have some downtime, watch videos, play video games leisurely. I don't know, I might be on, but we'll see how we go, because my work at the moment is quite stressful, to be honest. More stressful than it's ever been, so and we report our findings to George. Got an Orbital radio which we'll be able to tune in to a certain show every end of 3 days. So basically George is our workshop for updating Arcuses and creating new courts. Just get all the DLC, because I will be using a POM in the area that's going to be coming up, just to level up a few of our guys, just to make it a bit easier coming up. And if we go, okay. Looks like my cat wanting to get out on the stream. Heard a little meow. Got all three of them with me. 2 1-year-olds and 1 13-year-old. Catman, I tend to be called. Okay, final quest. Let's go. Some action, finally. Okay, final quest. Let's go. Some action, finally. So the only characters that we can have with us is Gaius and Elliot. Like I said earlier, they're the only ones that we're sort of chummy with at the moment. The only characters that we can have with us is Gaius and Elliot. Like I said earlier, they're the only ones that we're sort of chummy with at the moment. So I'm aiming for us to be probably level 8. Wolverine doesn't give a crap, does he? It's like, he just tells it how it is in certain situations. It's quite funny. But when it comes to romance, he's like an airhead. Like, he can't acknowledge how people feel about him in a certain way. It's amazing. Yet in serious situations, he's quite on the ball. So the room's changed, so already we haven't even done any exploring. We've already noticed that the room is smaller than it was before, where we fought the gargoyle thing. So already you're getting suspicious vibes of this place. And trust me, this is nothing. This is nothing of what's to come. The chaos will only worsen. So let's save, and then we'll make a move. So once we're through this labyrinth, I will save and I'll bring an end to the stream, and then we'll pick it up either halfway through next week, or definitely probably Friday or Saturday. But I will be playing Saints Row, the reboot. I probably won't stream that. I'll probably play it for a little bit, and then I might do some like side activity quests or something like that. I probably won't stream the story missions, just to let people themselves have a chance to play it, I guess. I would probably only show off some free roam and activity stuff rather than doing what the majority of people do, and that's just do complete walkthroughs on day one or a couple of days early and ruin the story for everyone. I know people have a choice to watch it, but sometimes just like, at least wait until it's released fully. That's my opinion. Or just showcase free roam or side activities if you really want to play it, and show it off to everyone. But I don't know, they might be contractually obliged, because I know they get reviewer copies. They might have to do it so they get their review copies. I don't know, but if I ever had that, I'd probably be like, well, I probably wouldn't show off the main stuff until at least a week after the release. I would probably do a few free roam bits. I'd probably record like the episodes that I would eventually upload a week later. That's just me being a personal preference, I guess. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to explain something that's really cool and exclusive to the Cold Steel franchise, which is Link attacks. Really good. Combat links, that's it. So you can set this off prior to battle, and you can set it up in battle. So the game will want us to do it straight away. So if you go to main menu and tactics, so Elliot's our caster, and these two are basically Gaius can be an evade specialist also and a tank. Rean is pretty much a CP battery. I personally think his Master Quartz is the most broken Master Quartz in the whole series. Especially in Cold Steel 1. If you max it up per kill, right, you can get 25 CP. He gets a certain ability that attacks multiple enemies. Now if they're all near death and you do that, you get 25 CP per kill. So if you've killed 5 enemies, you've already got the CP back from that skill, plus more CP on top. It's quite incredible. Slightly gets nerfed in 2, then it gets broken again in 3, then it gets even more broken in 4, and then in Hajimari or Trails to Reverie, it's still broken. But to be honest, this game isn't a multiplayer, it's single player. I don't mind broken crap. I'd rather be a god than just be an absolute pawn. So basically you can't do arts, you can only attack or craft. Because it wants to show off link attacks. So if we do Autumn Leaf Cutter slash assist. So good. So good. Because there's only 3 of us. I'm gonna go in turbo mode for enemies. Wow, okay. A bit brutal.
Won't give up. There.
Focus activate.
I can't believe he need to die, that's hilarious. So Rean 9 times out of 10 gets a lot of combat link opportunities because he's slash damage, and you can see there it's 4-star for slash. So 90% of the time you will get an opportunity. Oh, that's why, because of the defense system down. And Gaius is the second one, so he's piercing, I think.
My turn.
So Elliot, really, you're only going to be using him as a caster, really, and support. You can attack, but only do that against elementals and if your EP is low.
Time is precious. We should hurry.
So there we go. It's a lot better when you actually have 4 people. But we'll eventually get that opportunity soon. But anyway, on we go. Just going to explain it in more detail. Yes, that's another thing. If you strengthen bonds with certain people, you'll get additional stuff, so like finishing blows. So if you do a certain amount of damage from an assist, and say if their health is like, I think 15%, the person you've done a combat attack with will do a finishing blow. And if you get attacked, and there's, I think, depending on what level you are, there's like a 25% chance that they'll cover for you, so they'll take the damage, which is quite useful. And stronger link attacks will become more available throughout the story. Has no disadvantages, so you might as well always be connected. Yeah, so Elliot and Emma, because Emma has a normal staff there, unbalanced is quite low. So like I said, you might as well use them for spells or support. Critical attacks always unbalance the enemy, so it's very useful. I tend to obviously use critical attacks for your super attacks, which we can't do yet. But in my first video, you would have seen Sarah's
Here we go.
Keep it up, everyone!
It's my turn.
My turn. There. There's a chance.
Fire.
All right. They're open.
Here we go.
We did it!
Can't remember if there's a fishing spot. Oh, there you go. Fishing spot here. Oh, well, we've already got that. But I thought it was going to be the creepy one. Try one more. Okay, apparently not. That's another thing. Recipes. So Elliot should get either unique or special. Unique. Don't think we can use them here. Hold on. Oh, here we go. So we're going to use about 2 of these.
What is that strange? This will take everything we have.
My turn.
My turn! Focus activate!
Leave it to me. Now.
Here we go.
My turn!
It's my turn.
Here we go. Arcus.
Alright, let's keep going!
I did it.
Alright!
Nice.
going to do this in turbo mode.
What is that? Watch out. This is
Really, you
tough.
should use this at the end of the game, but I'm just using them now. Some of them now just to...
My turn. There. All right. They're open. All right. My turn.
Is everybody okay?
I did it.
Nice.
So, one more, I think.
What is that?
This looks tough. Careful!
It's my turn.
Here we go. There.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Leave it to me.
Go.
Leave it to me.
Let's keep going!
Very nice.
I did it!
Nice.
Detector's quite useful to obviously have if you want to...
Enemies ahead! We'll have to fight!
My turn.
These will be hard. We haven't got anyone that will do a lot of damage to rock enemies.
Keep it up, everyone!
Yeah, fire. Okay, his airstrike will do a decent number.
Go.
Just see. 140, I guess, is okay.
It's my turn.
And we want to do resounding beat again. So that gives us defense large. Yeah.
My turn. There. Now's a chance.
It's my turn.
They're open. Go.
Analyzing enemy attack patterns. Analysis complete.
My turn. All right, let's do this. All right. Go. All right, let's do this.
It's my turn.
My turn!
Well, Elliot, evade master.
I go where the wind takes me.
Nice.
Watch out, guys!
Okay.
All right, let's do this. All right.
My turn! Analyzing enemy attack patterns.
This is going to be in turbo mode, I think, for the majority of these battles.
Here we go.
Leave it to me.
See, like that,
My turn.
if Gaius and Reem was at level 2, Gaius would have done the finishing blow because of the health of that bomb there.
Analyzing enemy attack patterns. Analysis complete.
My turn.
Here we go.
It's my turn.
My turn! Oh, we did it!
It's a fight they want. Leave it to me. There!
My turn. There. As a champion.
Right. And it wasn't any attack patterns. Analysis complete.
It's my turn. Now.
Go.
Arcus activate.
Thanks. Here we go. There. Go.
It's my turn. There.
My turn. Is everybody okay?
Enemy sighted. Take him out. My turn. All right, let's do this.
Right. Leave it to me. There. You're open.
Right.
Leave it to me. There. You're open.
My turn. Okay, it's safe for now.
Oh, treasure chest.
We made it through.
So these augments will allow you to eventually buy items and weapons and amend your Arcuses. Quite useful. So we're about to come up onto a boss battle. So let's open and let's go to augments. So yeah, okay. So firebolt. Poison. Might as well give him heal. Defense. Attack. Boom. Okay.
This looks tough. Careful!
Leave it to me.
Here we go. All right, let's do this.
It's my turn. Now.
Go. Here we go. All right, let's do this.
All right. Now. turn. Open.
Analyzing enemy attack patterns. I've got it!
Here we go! Arcus, activate.
It's my turn. Open.
My turn. Alright, let's do this.
Leave it to me.
See what I mean by using Elliot as support? It's so good.
Leave it to me.
My turn.
Arcus activate! Is everybody okay?
Okay, so I'm going to bring an end to the stream. I'd like to thank everyone who's tuned in, or if you're tuning in post the stream and watching the recording, I'd like to also thank you for taking your time to watch this. So when we return, we will likely obviously work our way back to the school. Then we'll go and I assume as feedback to the principal of what we found, and then we'll do the first hidden quest, and then we will close the day, I think, and then we'll move on to the practical exercise that Sarah mentioned earlier. So once again, thank you very much, and I'll catch you next time, most likely either Friday evening or next Saturday or Sunday. Okay? Bye-bye.